We're here in Mississauga, where Cycling Canada has gathered together all the coaches, national coaches, for a series of meetings and briefings as we head into next year, 2 years out from the Olympics, and next year the Pan American Games. Talking with Jacques Landry, High Performance Director for Cycling Canada. Jacques, first of all, I mean, this is an impressive gathering of coaches, the number of coaches now that Canada has.
Yeah, definitely. We have quite a few coaches, as you mentioned, Rob. We have, we've acquired over the last 2-3 years a full gamut of coaches that cover BMX, road, track, mountain bike, BMX, and paracycling. So the purpose of this conference, or if you will, the meetings, is basically to talk about the programming, look at the year in review with regards to the performances or sometimes the lack thereof. So look at that, and then basically conduct a bit of a gap analysis on how we're tracking with our performances, and looking forward as to where we should be going based on the athletes that we have, and looking at the objectives and reevaluating our objectives leading into next year, the Pan Am Games and Para-Pan Am Games, and in 2 years' time in Rio, and even looking with our development coaches at the pathway and solidifying the pathway going into Tokyo in 2020.
Now, I mean, the other big thing that's happening next year or later this year is the move into Milton. So can you talk a bit about how that's going? Because I know some of the coaches have actually relocated to this area. So can you talk a bit about how the programs will start to roll out there?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely something very important for us. The programming, definitely on the track side, and I would say even track and on the para side as well, and even on the road side. The fact that the town of Milton now will have a velodrome and is something very important for us. We finally have a home for our track program, and we can start centralizing a lot of our activities out of the Milton Velodrome. So our track coaches have started relocating from different areas. So we have our development coach in Melbourne, who's relocated from Australia. He's been in Milton for the past 6 months almost. Craig Griffin, our women's endurance coach, is going to be relocating as well. Aaron Hartwell, our newly acquired sprint coach, is going to be actually just signed a lease for a new house as well, a house in Hamilton. So all our coaches, at least on the track side of things, are going to be centralized in and around the Milton vicinity, and it's really we really need that. We need to be able to centralize our activities, and centralization means coaches have to be there, and that's what the top countries are doing with their programs, whether it be Australia, New Zealand, GB. They've all done that, and we're doing that because that's what we need to do. And now that we have the home to work out of, it goes without saying that is a need, and we're going to perform through that.
Okay, so I mean, we're going into, I guess you call it the slower time of year in terms of competition. Although the Track World Cup will be starting up soon. For you, what are the big things that you're hoping to get out of this meeting with all the coaches?
Well, it is, as you say, it is a slower time, but it is for track. This is when we ramp up in the track season, and obviously this is a time where we start acquiring, the UCI points, and we're in the Olympic qualification process right now. So it's ramping up for the first couple World Cups. It's the London World Cup will be kind of a litmus test for us where we are. That's the second World Cup. And then basically leading into the World Championships. And obviously for some of their programs, when we look at the track endurance program on the men's side, we're also a big focus for them is going to be Pan Am Games in Toronto as well. Not to say that it isn't for the women, but for us it'll be another litmus test for that group of athletes. So yeah, we're basically just looking at getting the program running on the track side, getting the volume in on the track endurance side, and getting our sprinters ready right now. For the most part, they're all still preparing in Los Angeles, but we're just chomping at the bit basically to start getting on the boards in Milton, which right now should be either between mid-November and early December.
Okay, and last question, development with the track in place now. I'm assuming that you're going to start ramping up some of your plans to try and recruit riders.
Yeah, definitely. We've said that from past after London. Our focus is track endurance and track sprinting. We've acquired the coaches now. We're heavily into the recruiting side of things, definitely on the sprint side and on the endurance side of things. On the endurance side of things, it is working a lot with in conjunction with the road program. We need to be able to, and these are the purpose of the meetings. And what's coming out of the meetings here is basically, and we've known it, but we're actually hitting the nail on the head more often now, is that we need to build better athletes to start with, and so that they become better track riders and eventually be good road endurance or road riders. And that's really goes through recruitment. It goes through educating a bit more of our provincial coaches and our club coaches as to what type of load there is needed to be able to hit the track and hit the boards and be competitive at the international level. And it goes hand in glove. Our programs on the track go hand in glove with our programs on the road. And we're as we're ramping up to the Pan Am Games next year and the Rio Games, we're going to be using a lot more of road program to actually better our track endurance riders as we move forward, and that's a key. We're not going to waver from that plan. We've said that from the onset after London, that we need to increase our track endurance program through the road, and that's going to go. We're going to continue on soldiering on until Rio, and really until 2020, which is where we're expecting to have some good medal performances on the men's endurance side of things. As we know, the endurance side of things on the men's side, the depth of field is a bit deeper. We have to be patient with our program, and we're just talking about that, and we've got our funders behind it 100%, our track endurance program on the men's side, and in the fact that it takes time. When we look at New Zealand, Australia, GB, for them to actually be on the top of the box at World Championships and the Olympics, it's taken one or two, well, more than two quads, even three quads, to actually be where they are now. And so we owe it to our athletes, our cyclists, our road and track endurance athletes to be patient. And we've acquired the coaches to do so, and now it's just a question of trickle down effect down into the provinces, so that they know exactly how to prepare their riders, so that we can actually start looking at some podium performances to start with at Pan Am Games, and continue on potentially maybe qualify for Rio on the track endurance side of things, and then eventually have our sights on Tokyo.
Great. Well, thanks very much, and we'll look forward to see how this develops.
Thanks.